got this shirt 3 weeks ago. When I picked it up from the rack, it was still warm. Not from the lights, but from her hands. You don't feel it, of course, but she does. Because fabric holds heat. And when she pressed the final seam flat, clipped the last loose thread, and stacked it into a plastic-wrapped pile taller than her fingerprints were still on it. And now they're on me. Her name will never be printed on the label, but she exists. She's 14 years old. She lives on the outskirts of Dhaka in Bangladesh. She wakes up at 5 a.m. every single morning, not to chase ambition, but to outrun hunger. Bangladesh exports over $45 billion worth in garments every year to brands like H&M, Zara, and Uniqlo. The global fashion industry is worth $1.7 trillion. And yet, she earns just 113 US dollars a month. Even the minimum living wage in her city is double of that. She is paid per piece, 2 cents for a hem, 3 cents for a sleeve. So she learns to sew faster than she breathes, because outside those factory gates, there are 10 other just as desperate girls waiting to replace her. We call this employment. But tell me, when the only real options are hunger or harm, is that really a choice? If the name Rana Plaza means nothing to you, then that is part of the problem. In 2013, 1,134 garment workers died when that factory collapsed. The day before it fell, workers saw cracks crawling up the walls. They were afraid, but they were told if they didn't return the next morning, they would lose a month's wages. A month's wages meant eviction. Eviction meant hunger. So they went back. When the building collapsed, some bodies were found still seated at the sewing machines, bent forward, as if they were still stitching. Because deadlines do not pause for fear or casualties. Rana Plaza was not the system failing. It was the system working exactly as it was designed. And here's the question we must ask ourselves. How many lives must be stitched into our clothes before we decide the price is just too high? Fast fashion now releases 52 micro-seasons a year, a new trend every single week. Speed is profit, and when brands demand lower costs, factories face a brutal equation. Cut wages, cut safety, or lose the contract. In their eyes, this is not cruelty. It's economics. And economics follows incentives. Right now, exploitation is profitable. So if we want change, we must make it more expensive to exploit her. 3 incentives. Together, they form STITCH. Stitch. Because this system will not unravel itself. First, S, for supply chain disclosure. Make it illegal to hide. When Germany introduced the Supply Chain Due Diligence Act, companies faced fines of up to 2% of global turnover for human rights violations. They didn't suddenly grow kinder. They became compliant overnight. So make exploitation expensive. Second, T for transparency through collective pressure. Across American universities, schools joined the Workers' Rights Consortium. When violations were found in uniform production, contracts were suspended. Conditions improved, not because companies felt guilty, but because losing buyers hurts. And finally, ITCH, itch, because the last pressure point is us. So every time you feel the itch or the urge to buy something new, remember what the word can stand for. I for investigate. Does the brand publish its factories? If not, why? T for think. Wait 48 hours. Most needs expire by then. C for choose. Resale, repair, and ethical brands. And H for hold back. Buy just 3 fewer impulse pieces a year. Just 3. And multiply that by millions of consumers around the world. That is the impact you can have. This shirt that I'm wearing is soft, but the hands that made it are not. They are cracked, calloused, numb from repetition. Fashion itself is not the enemy, but we have built a system where style is seasonal and sacrifice is permanent. Her name will never be printed on the label, so let me put it there now. Her name is Asha, and in Bengali and Hindi, that word means hope. And hope should never have to be stitched away just to survive. Because if the price of us looking good is that Asha's spine, lungs, and dignity must slowly break, then the real stain on this fabric is not the dye. It is the cost that we chose not to see. And if this shirt still feels warm in your hands, now you know why. Thank you.